So I think we have vastly overcomplicated lead generation in real estate and in the mortgage industry. I think there's so many companies out there that offer this, they offer that. You can call, you can knock, you can text, you can email, you can create campaigns, right? You can do all of these things, all of which work for different people if you go all in, right? But here is where I watch most of you fail the most. And it's the easiest, should be. It's with the group that already trusts you, and it doesn't cost you any money. You know, I was talking to a realtor the other day who told me this. He said, Kyle, I don't believe there's anything called a bad lead. And I thought that was interesting, right? Because in the lead gen game, everyone blames the lead. Of course that lead's bad. That's why I can't close it. And he said, Kyle, every lead I get is one of two people. They own a house, which means at some point they're going to sell it, or they want to own a house, which means at some point they're going to buy. And when he said that, it was so interesting to me to go, oh man, what an interesting way to view every human that you come in contact with. That it is someone that owns a house, or it is someone that wants to buy a house. And so guys, think about this. I wrote some notes on the board so that I could better articulate this. But I was reading a book the other day that said this: people want simple things. This question: how are you helping me win today? How are you helping me win today? So for realtors and lenders that are watching this video, think about this. You have tons of people across all of your social media platforms that are going to sell houses. They are going to buy houses, but they're not going to use you. Because most likely, if you keep doing what you're doing, you will not be relevant when their buying decision approaches. Right? This is what I constantly fight with realtors over is I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be annoying. But here's what I've learned. In my time that I spent as a pastor back in the day, I was constantly feeling like, am I saying the same thing every week? Am I a broken record? Are my volunteers being annoyed right now? And here's what I learned. The average person forgets what they learned 7 days ago. And so by the time that person showed back up to church for me to lead, they'd already forgot what we talked about last week. And so most of us as humans, as leaders, as parents, as friends, we say things to somebody one time. And then we just expect that a year later, they're going to all of a sudden want to buy a house and go, boop, I'm calling my friend. Guys, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And so here's the problem with this. All of you have lost opportunity to a friend. You've had a family member buy or sell a house, and you're overhearing this conversation in the kitchen. And you go, wait, what? Y'all bought a house? And they go, oh, I totally forgot you're in real estate. You still do that? I just never see anything about it. You are not top of mind. You've got to understand the way we function as humans. And so here's just a couple notes that I jotted down that I wanted you to think about. All people own a house or want to own a house. Also, all people can be a client or can be a referral source. You see, here's another interesting way that sales works is that if I'm not careful, I will buy in to the idea that I can't get a referral from you until you've been a client of mine. When the reality is that oftentimes my greatest referral partners are people that don't necessarily need my services, but they position me in front of a lot of people. So don't overlook who could be a great referral source for you before they've ever been a client. And so with that being said, think about this. Here's what I believe that you need to be doing as the realtor, as the mortgage lender, to organically cultivate lead opportunities. Okay? You have to answer this question. Are you ready for it? You have to answer the question, how will you help me win the day? What does it look like? Right? How do you help the average person on your Facebook page win the day? How do you help the person on your LinkedIn page win the day? You have to think about several things specifically, right? And here's where it starts for you, right? Number one, you have to identify. You have to identify, even though, right, we talked about it, I can work with all people. Even though you can, that doesn't mean you should. Even though you can, that doesn't mean you should. So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to identify. Who is it that you're going to want to work with? Who have you attracted over the last 6 months, 12 months? Right? What does that individual look like? Identify them. And then once we identify, we answer. We answer the question, how will you help them specifically win the day? How is that going to happen? And so when you begin to put yourself into the mindset of these people, you will quickly realize, oh wow, this is the pain that they woke up with today. Oh wow, this is the struggle that they have. Oh man, this is what they need more insight on. And begin to speak to those things. And then once we begin to develop the answers, then it's about creating. You've got to be creating content that positions you in front of people. You've got to be in front of people on a regular basis. We cannot win in sales if we are sitting on the sideline waiting for someone to buy our stuff. If you believe in what you do, if you believe in what you offer, you've got to go out and put yourself in front of those people on a regular basis. And honestly, it's going to feel like you're doing it too much, but you're not. This is how the sales game works. And when you do this well, you will be amazed at what happens. And all of this comes together with the word create. Are you creating content? Are you putting things in front of people that are going to keep your name top of mind? Right? It could be pictures, it could be blogs, it can be video, but you've got to position yourself accordingly. Because number one, you've got to be relevant. Right? That's the first part, is we've got to be relevant. But we've also got to help them understand a few things as well, right? 3 quick things, and then I'm going to be done. Right? I wrote it down here in blue. We have to leverage the content we're creating to do 3 things. Number 1, to show value. We've got to create value. Right? When we identify how we can help them win today, the answer to that question is buy or sell a house. That's not the answer. Because most people aren't waking up ready to buy or sell a house today. So you've got to dig deeper. And so you've got to show value. Then you've got to show that you care. You have to be genuine. You know, one of the greatest compliments that I ever received is that I was speaking at an event. And a woman came up to me after the event and she gave me a big hug. And she said, Kyle, I just got to tell you, you are as nice in person as I thought you would be from watching your videos. That compliment melted my heart, right? That in spite of my issues, in spite of my insecurities, I was able to portray to her that I genuinely care. And so do you. That has to come off in your videos. And so this is why, right? This is why when some of you always do perfect videos, you don't come across as somebody that cares. You come across as somebody that's perfect. And perfect people aren't relatable. And so you want to quickly be pinpointed as the fake person that nobody wants to be around, just push perfect content all the time. And watch people stop paying attention, because we aren't drawn to people we can't relate to. So you've got to show them that you care. And then the final thing is you've got to prove that they can trust you. You've got to prove that they can trust you. And in my opinion, here's the only way trust is established through social media. Consistency. You've got to prove that you are going to be here day in and day out, and then you've got to be providing value that they can actually go apply to their life and see work, right? Because as I'm giving tips for real estate agents, for lenders, right, really for anyone in sales, as I'm providing tips, every time that tip works, I am positioning myself as a person of influence in their life. I'm positioning myself as a person that can be trusted in their life. And so I know, guys, that in 11 minutes, which is what we're at right now, I have covered such a broad amount of topics, but I wanted you guys to see that for the realtor that is wondering right now, like, where is my next transaction coming from? Or I'm so tired of just having one lead source. I'm so tired of attending social media classes and it never really working for me. Stop overlooking all the people you've already earned the love, trust, and respect from. They're right there waiting for you. You've got to get out of your own way. You've got to stop seeing yourself as insignificant. And you have to start seeing what you do well as something others want, and leverage that to position yourself as a person of authority and as a person who cares and wants to create value for them. And so I hope this has been helpful. If you remember nothing else, right, add this question in orange to your morning routine: is, for everyone that I come in contact with today, whether in person, over the phone, through email, through text message, through social media, through video, through a blog, whatever, how are you helping me win the day? This video will help you win the day in massive ways if you go apply it. Let me know how I can help. Talk to you soon. See ya.